want to control people? You tell them a Messiah will come.
You want to control people? You tell them a Messiah to come. You tell them to trust the plan. You say the only way to defeat Judaism and Zionism is to worship the God of Zion. The Jews hate it when you bow down to their Messiah and worship their God and believe in their prophets.
Every word in this book was written by Jewish hands. They gave to us the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The Bible says Abraham was a friend of God. Abraham was the father of all who believe. Therefore, he is our spiritual father. Read Paul's writings in Romans, the 11th chapter. Do not boast against the tree roots, because the roots support you, Christians. You don't support the roots.
You have to be connected to the vine. We owe a lot to the Jews. Jesus was a Jew. We've been grafted into the vine. Christian faith didn't replace Jewish faith. Judaism is our roots, and Christianity is the fulfillment of Judaism through the Jewish Messiah, Jesus.
God's judgment is coming to every person or nation that abuses the Jewish people. It's called the judgment of the nations, and it will happen when Christ returns to earth. And Jesus will say, inasmuch as you did it unto one of these, my brethren is the Jewish people. Jesus never called Gentiles his brethren. Inasmuch as you did this to the Jewish people, you did it to me. And these will go away. This is the Bible. And these will go away into everlasting punishment.
The Bible in Zechariah chapter 14 says that when Jesus returns, his feet are going to touch down on the Mount of Olives, exact same place that he left. He's returning to the Mount of Olives, to the city of Jerusalem that's occupied by Jewish people, to establish his 1,000-year reign on the earth from the city of Jerusalem over all the nations of the world, in fulfillment of all the messianic prophecies that God gave in the Old Testament. So if the Bible is an Israel-centric book, and if God established a covenant with Israel, if our Messiah Jesus came through the line of Israel, and if Jesus is returning to Israel to reign and rule from there, and you and I are going to be connected to that, we better get used to Israel.
Do you not think I also...
It's not a prophecy. It's a story that you keep telling, but it's not their story, it's yours. What your people did to this world is heartbreaking.
We gave them something to hope for.
That's not hope!
False hope. It's your destruction. It's the blueprint for your devastation.
Wow, that was amazing. Shout out See Through It All for that epic mix. Where's my noise? Why is my noise not playing? Hold on, I'm having tech issues. There it is. I think I need to update OBS or something. That was so epic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See Through It All for that. I love setting the mood with an epic, powerful fire mix. Love the music. Love the soundtrack. Makes me want to do another one. John made an awesome one yesterday too. Brand new one. Nobody doing it like us. Truly epic. What's up, guys? Good to see you again. Happy Thursday, April 23rd, 2026. Tons to get into today. Reporter asks if Trump lies. We've got more Noah's Ark Mania. Some interesting stuff about the new big streamer influencer, Looksmaxer. Clav is now Rabbi-Maxxing. And we've got some Shroud of Turin, Christian Con, and some other stuff. Gonna be a big show, only made possible thanks to you guys and your support. Gonna get the Power Chat turned on right now. Now live, powerchat.live/no-more-news, pinned to the top of the comments on Rumble. And I tried to get the setup for Kick going today too. Everybody needs to follow over on Kick as well. One thing I like about Kick that Rumble doesn't do is, sorry, it auto-plays on Kick. One thing that I like that it does is it has screen and screen, so I can go and do other stuff on my phone while I'm listening to Kick. Big Tech's basically the only person I watch on Tick, pretty much. But I'm on there too. I think it's up. Is anybody on Kick? No, it's not. It's offline. Something's whacked out. Okay, never mind. Drop the Kick plug. But Substack, we're doing another book club review of the Jesus Deception chapters 2 and 3. We did 1 and 2 last week. It was pretty epic. A bunch of more people have already signed up for the private paid subscriber Substack book club Zoom calls that we did. We're going to keep doing. We're also going to have watch parties there. It's going to be the hangout spot. It's going to be the Sunday night church meetup, hangout, barbecue. It'll be the beer hall. Anyway, Substack link down below as well. Let's get going. First thing, Trump being asked about lying to everybody.
Mr. President, after 3.5 years, do you regret at all the lying you've done to the American people? On
All the what?
All the lying, all the dishonesties.
That who has done?
You have done.
Excuse me, come again? Come again? All the what?
All the dishonesties.
That who has done?
You have done. Tens of thousands.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Mr. President.
Oh, what? Next question. Tens of thousands of lies? I thought he was going to name a specific lie. Like, I thought I was a doctor. Or, I'm not going to bomb Iran. He didn't really say that, though. He said, no new wars. Okay. Ted Lieu, the American people deserve to know if Kash Patel is a raging alcoholic. This should be good. Remember when he was, well, I'll find the video. Kash was pounding with the hockey team, the Olympic hockey team, he was pounding the champagne. We played a clip of Ted Lieu, Congressman Ted Lieu, the other day, too. He was like, J.D. Vance and Trump are heretics and not good Catholics.
Donald Trump's fate. I have a direct message for Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche. House Democrats on the Judiciary Committee are demanding that Kash Patel take an alcohol abuse test. And Mr. Blanche, you work in a building with a giant banner of Donald Trump's face. You know how important alcoholism and alcohol abuse is to the president. So you should also demand that Kash Patel take this alcohol abuse test. Do not hide this information from Donald Trump or the American people. You deserve to know if Kash Patel is an alcoholic.
My wireless USB port, but it's doing this random drop. I'm getting good stream quality, but then it drops quick. It comes right back every 10 minutes or so. I don't even know if you guys lose it or if it just does a wheel for a second or what, but I think Big Tech is right. I do need a new router. Calling them today. I promise right after the stream I'm calling them today and getting an appointment ASAP for way better internet. Might even start streaming in 1080. Do phones even? You guys don't watch in 1080 on your phones, I don't think. Though. All right, here's another one. New acting Navy Secretary Hung Kao, like a hung cow, hung like a bull, Hung Kao, warning that a wave of Wiccan, quote-unquote, witchcraft is taking over America and threatening Christianity. Oh, God.
But now it's...
Demons and witchcraft and paganism.
Again, it's, we can't let it turn like this. There's a place in Monterey, California called Lovers Point.
Yeah.
The original name was Lovers of Christ Point, but now it's become, they took out the Christ, it's Lovers Point, and it's really, Monterey is a very dark place now. Yeah. A lot of witchcraft and the Wiccan community has really taken over there. And we can't let that happen in Virginia.
We can't have politicians believing that there's such a thing as witches. That women have magical powers because they say magic words or have a boiling cauldron. Come on.
Again, it's, we can't let it turn like this. There's
witches, thinking witches and Noah's Ark is real and denying evolution and space travel and everything. The Christian Goyim fatigue is just next level.
I always wonder how dumb this Goyim sometimes can be.
Look at this. I see this shit today. Sorry, no cursing, no cursing. There's children watching. This is a Wiccan-occupied government. Yeah, the real concern. We got to do something. Christians are like, yeah, our main concern, our top priority is the demons and the witches. And the anti-Semites, which are, oh, yo, Carlin's in the chat. Laugh out loud. I wish witches ruled the world. Yeah, me too, Carlin. Actually, we're pro-witch around here. We're pro-witch. Yeah, if only we had witches, right? And if only it wasn't a bunch of Abrahamic Yeshua Yahweh believers running our government. Maybe if we had pagan witches, things would be a lot better. Good point. Thank you, Carlin. Hey, how about Carlin? Do you want people that believe Noah's Ark is a real historical event? Like 36,000 people and 2.4 million views from yesterday, think? The biblical man looks a little bit like me. The most terrifying thing about Noah's Ark isn't the flood, it's the boat. God gave exact length, width, wood, exact pitch, no steering wheel, no sail, no engine. Noah was not the captain. He was the cargo. Liam
Jarrett sent $5 on Rumble. Meet me at Jesus Circumcised Heart Point, Carlin.
Circumcised Heart Point. Oh, meet him there. I saw something funny on Twitter today. It was like circumcised brains. Christians have circumcised Christ brains. Carlin says the amount of retardation on X right now is biblical. It is reaching biblical proportions. Glad you see it. Speaking of Rabbi-Maxxing, of Ark Mania, Fox News promoting Noah's Ark because there's nothing they fear more than you believing in Noah's Ark and his magic rainbow and your Noahide covenants.
Garrett sent $5. I had someone torturing me with pins and a voodoo doll once. Ironically, the only thing that helped was acupuncture.
That's funny. Good one. That's how acupuncture was invented. Acupuncture, that's the deep lore. Acupuncture is just a secret occult ritual where you're the real-life voodoo doll. Has anybody had acupuncture? I feel like it's not popular anymore like it used to be. So I think I tried it once on a Groupon or something and was not impressed. Not impressed in the woo-woo. Has anybody ever had Reiki before? Met a Reiki master? Slow brain development due to Christ brain during childhood, yeah. Flood-maxing. Yeah, ark-mogging. Noah was the first ark-mogger.
American researchers working in the high mountains of Turkey have uncovered what appear to be hidden tunnels similar to the descriptions of the biblical account of Noah's Ark.
Our next guest says...
Nothing they fear more. They're trying to destroy the Bible. They want you to be atheist. Is that why all the politicians and top influencers in Fox News and all the Zionists always promote the Bible? Because they want you to be atheist? No, they want you to be Noahides believing in Noah. Doc Jake Holiday, conspiracy truther, says, thanks to the Moscow, New York, Tel Aviv disinfo networks, everyone thinks they are gods and have supernatural abilities. Yep, completely retarded, and the earth's flat. It's all true. I saw it on Fox News. Hey, Ma, I saw it on Fox. You know it's real. Fox said it. No Ingibus. It's all real.
Newly found evidence can...
Yeah, the Gaia's pussy, Shekinah's vaginas.
...did, in fact, exist, turning this...
Whoa, hold on. Did you hear that statement of fact? Tunnels. We now know that there's animal tunnels. Confirmed.
American researchers working in the high mountains of Turkey have uncovered what appear to be hidden tunnels similar to the descriptions of the biblical account of Noah's Ark.
Our next guest says his newly found evidence can prove that Noah's Ark did, in fact, exist, turning this biblical mystery into a reality. Joining us now from Turkey.
It's real, Goyam.
Researchers from Noah's
I saw it on the news.
Andrew Jones. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us and for all the good...
Dude, this guy says it's like a divine mission for him to prove that the Ark is here. He's been doing it like since he was a teenager. And we're acting like he's some credible source, that we're going to take his word for what his supposed discoveries. Carlin, I don't know, says, what is with the Jews and tunnels? I know. They got tunnels in the Ark, tunnels under Chabad Lubavitch. Amalek says, did you catch the Doug Wilson clip with Pierce Morgan? No. Link it, Amalek. Let's see it.
Work that you're doing. This is fascinating. Tell us about your findings that could prove the real-life existence of Noah's Ark.
Thank you for having me on. Yes, greetings from the mountains of Ararat, where the Bible says the ark landed. I'm about 1 mile from the Iranian border, and in this remote area, this boat formation was discovered in 1959. But our new research has shown that there are tunnels about 4 meters down and about 2 meters high going down the center of the boat.
So what is he saying, that the boat is buried underneath?
$5 on Rumble. Rock equals Jubas real. Rock
pussy equals Jesus is real, right? Pretty much. The rock pussy thing is so funny. So what is this the theory now? That it's underneath? There's tunnels underneath because the boat is still underneath? Or how do we know that his underground scans, if they're even legitimate and accurate, isn't just some natural rock formation? Like all the investigations into it have shown, besides by fundamentalist Christians.
And on the inside edge of the hull shape. And so we really believe that this layout showing tunnels and also possible support beams and walls would suggest that it's a man-made object and not just a natural formation.
Yeah, many geologists disagree with that. They say, look, this is just a natural formation.
Thanks, Amalek.
But gosh,
Got
Andrew, when I look at that, it doesn't look very natural to me. What's your response to those geologists?
Looks like a pussy to me, Joe.
Yeah, so first of all, you have to explain, how did an earthen formation get into the shape of a ship? And then is exactly 300 cubits long, which is the length given in the book.
It's like saying, how come that cloud looks like a puppy dog? Hey, you see that elephant head in the cloud? Like, dude, how many hills are there on Earth? How many mountain ridges are there on Earth? You find one that looks a little bit in the shape of an ark? It must be the ark. I can't wait for these people to dig. What are you guys waiting for? Grab your fucking shovels. Grab your shovels. Get over there. They're going to conjure up some Cope's conspiracy like they won't let us. They're covering it up. The Illuminati Jews are covering up the ark. The Jews don't want you to believe in Noah that the ark is really there. The reptilian shape-shifting demons aren't letting us dig with our excavators and prove that Noah's ark is under there. It's a conspiracy. Meanwhile, they just don't want to dig because there's nothing there.
Book of Genesis in the Bible. And so we have the exact length, we have the ship shape, and we're in the right location. And now
Liam, knock it off. Knock it off, Liam. She does not need to do that.
We're also seeing that the soil inside is different from right outside the formation. So we have 3 times more organic matter found inside versus right outside. So it's a distinct object and not just part of the mountainside.
Can you take your work underground and explore some of these tunnels to get a definitive answer?
That is the next goal. And we're really hoping that the Turkish universities will be able to do that. And so that's the plan. And that's what we've suggested. And we're even wanting to help with designing a robot that can go down into these tunnels and film and take samples.
I understand that your organization is called
a
Noah's
robot
Ark Scans, which probably answers my...
This is going to turn into such a grift, dude. They're going to raise money so they can fund some excavation trip. And then they're going to find some bullshit and claim it really is real. But everybody's going to laugh at it. But then they're going to make a bunch of money off it. Watch.
Question for me. But in your heart of hearts, based upon all the time and all the effort that you have put into this, do you truly believe that you have found...
Hey, this...
Theological sent $5 on Rumble. Been reading some of Sam Francis's work recently. He was a huge intellectual figure in the nationalist movement in the 90s. He was very critical of Christianity for its universalism and views on race.
Interesting. I feel like where I've heard about him is Fuentes mentioning him before. Sam Francis, that's the only time I've heard the name.
Right, if they start excavating that shit, the rock posy going to nut earthquake.
Yeah, they'll be like, God sent fireball. What's it called when a girl ejaculates? Squirt The rock formation earmuffs. The rock pussy is going to squirt when they try to excavate. It'll be a sign from God, squirting you away to not reveal his mysteries. Okay, fam, this is a family show.
Noah's Ark.
Yes, I do believe that this is the real decayed, buried remains of Noah's Ark, the famous ship, and we're doing our best to convince the skeptics and show the...
You're not convincing any skeptics.
American researchers work.
Yeah, but of course the angel orbs, aliens, or demons obsessed account is all over the Noah's Ark. Of course, all the Zionists that are always kvetching about anti-Semitism, writing books about the anti-Nazi Christian Bonhoeffer, Eric Metaxas, huge Zionist shill, Christian. Of course, he's sharing the evolution-denying Christian apologist.
Committed.
Dinosaurs are fake, Noah's Ark is real, talking donkeys real, evolution fake, Adam and Eve real. Science is all Jewish. Space is Jewish.
He was a committed neo-Darwinist. But he wrote an important book in which he acknowledged or really spotlighted the fact that for many of his colleagues...
Okay, Liam, that's kind of funny, Liam. You gotta admit. Not Pitts, something else. That rock pussy looking dry. You feel me?
Sent $5 on Rumble. Yeah, it's ironic. Fuentes cites Francis for red-pilling him on the demographics question. Never mentions how he was highly critical of Christianity and Catholicism.
Man, that makes... I heard Fuentes explain that this Sam Francis guy criticized something about Israel and got blacklisted from the conservative movement. And I was not aware. Fuentes failed to mention he was anti-Christian.
Darwinian evolution functions as a kind of secular religion. And you can see why. Because
it's a religion. Just the truth about scientific discovery about how life evolves and how biology works is just like a religion. Your cell phone technology is like a religion. The projection. No, you're the one with the Jewish religion of magical fairy tale bullshit, and we live in reality. Reality is not a religion.
The most fundamental questions that any worldview or religion has to answer, which is, what is the thing or the entity or the process from which everything else came? And the neo-Darwinian explanation of the origin of new forms of life is part of the answer to that really fundamental question, which is not only a scientific...
Electricity is Satan, right? Airplanes, demonic, satanic, occult. Oh, is airplane technology your religion? They say nasty is your religion. Okay, are rockets a religion? Well, you're secretly worshiping a phallus. It's a religion of phallus. They really do say that shit. It's all cope and projection and inversion from these lying charlatans with their fancy suits trying to look super serious. I think American thought leaders putting Jewish fairy tales over all known science. Thought leaders. This is the problem with America, is these kind of kooks are the... Look at our thought leaders. Candace Owens, Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, Sean Ryan, David Icke.
Question, but a philosophical worldview question.
Reason is your religion, dude.
But Ruse's critique of some of his own colleagues was that because it functions like a secular religion, sometimes there's a resistance to a more dispassionate scientific evaluation of its merits. He was a committed
There's some speculation and rumors that Francis converted to Catholicism on his deathbed, but I don't think it was ever confirmed. Francis also criticized Christians for their denial of evolution.
There you go. Let's see. Dude, I've never even seen what he looked like. Hold on, is this him? Is this somebody different? 1994 American painter? Writer. Yep, that's the one. Whoa. Look at that dude. Let's see. Dismissed from Washington Times, where he was a columnist in 1995 after making racist remarks at the American Renaissance Conference. Is that Jared Taylor? That's Jared Taylor, right? France's dominant force on the Council of Conservative Citizens, a white supremacist organization identified as a hate group by the SPLC. Well, any pro-European or nationalist group is a hate group according to the SPLC. Jared Taylor called Francis the premier philosopher of white racial consciousness of our time. Early life, master's degree and doctorate from North Carolina Chapel Hill. In what? Ludwig von Mises Institute. Has anybody ever seen this guy before? I've never seen a video or a clip of him or anything.
What do we worship? Worship is a word they use to attack.
Yeah, worship's not a word I use. I don't worship. I don't worship myself. I don't make myself my own God like they try. That's another bullshit thing they say. Attended the Friends of BNP. Does it say his views on Christianity? Okay, I'll have to look up. Send me something if you can about like what he said about Christianity. That'd be interesting to know. All right. Are we Clav-Maxxing? Yeah. From Arc-Maxxing to Rabbi-Maxxing with Clav. So you guys, unfortunately, probably many of you have heard of Clavicular, the Looks-Maxer, the Mogger, the big new popular streamer.
Many flat earthers, moon landing deniers, evolution skeptics, as a result of certain scientific consensuses that are false. Vaccines, catastrophic climate change, nutrition, transgenderism, etc. There's nuance and we need discernment.
That's true. There's some nuance. Yeah, we worship Yeshua the Rasta. Yeah. Or what do we worship the rock pussy. Yeah, praise, hail Shekinah vagina. Okay, anyway, Clavicular, he got in trouble with the club accost, as they called it, when Andrew Tate and Myron and Nick Fuentes and Sneeko went to the club and played Kanye's song. So now he's on the phone with the same Rabbi Kabbalah Rabbi Pinto, that Kanye also recently met with to apologize and grovel and try to get his entertainment career back. And now he's talking to the same rabbi.
Hi.
Because he's opened, or he's now part owner in a club in Miami with some Israeli alleged criminals. Maybe it's not alleged. I think it's confirmed. We're going to play a clip of that too. So now he's in with like the Israeli Zionist mob and meeting with the rabbi, and he's going to be the new, I mean, he already is the new celebrity. And he just like, in total Clav faction, he was like, oh dude, Jews Mog. Why would he not work with the Jews?
How are you? Shalom. How are you?
Dude, he probably had to pay a bunch of money, or like they're saying he got his account back right after he did this.
What's your name? Clav.
כבוד הרב, מה נשמע? מה שלומכם?
ברוך השם צדיקים, ברוך השם, ברוך השם, השם ישמור אתכם צדיקים מאוד אתכם. הצלחה גדולה צדיקים.
קוראים לו קלאב, ברנדן קוראים לו, your real name.
Braden. Say like
you know, I feel like he's doing this just to go viral. That's all he cares about. That's all he cares is to have viral clips. They're what does it call it? Clip farming, engagement farming. He knows if he does this shit, speaks to the rabbi, he's like, oh yeah, for sure. I think he might have even joked about he wants to go to Israel and go pray at the wall. Yeah. It's like he's selling out Maxing. That's what he would do. At Rabbi Pinto, blessed Clavicular.
All the blessing.
Oh, he's got NeuroGum. I love NeuroGum. NeuroGum detected. Caffeine gum. Nutrients gum.
all the blessings.
הוא עכשיו יש דבר חדש, כבוד הרב, קוראים לזה סטרימינג, הוא בין החזקים של אמריקה. היה לו החודש 2 ביליון אנשים שראו אותו, מאוד מפורסם, ילד טוב, נהיה שותף איתנו בכמה...
Okay, so he does that just like Kanye did. Kanye's was way more pathetic.
Accountability. I feel really blessed to be able to sit here with you today and just take accountability. I was dealing with some various issues.
Dude, I told you all Kanye speaking out was going to do was make anti-Semites look mentally ill, and bing, bang, boom. Obviously, that's what happened. Candace, same deal.
The names sent $5 on Rumble. There's no way they're going to allow ye to re-enter the mainstream without disavowing Fuentes. Will be hilarious to see the fallout and overall kvetching and seething from the grow-ipers lol.
Kanye's going to be like, that little Mexican white supremacist took advantage of me when I was bipolar.
Heavenly Hans sent $10 on Rumble. Praise Rabbi Yesh.
Heavenly Hans.
I need him to come deep inside of me. Great stream, brother.
Bro. Settle down there, dude.
All right, man. I need to ask you something, and I need you to tell me the truth. Are you a fag?
Cool it with the Jesus coming remarks, guys.
Dealing with bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had and have me take them to an extreme.
Liam Jarrett sent $5 on Rumble.
Yeah, of course.
Carolyn on the show soon?
Yep.
I'm waiting on some Ford pics from her. But in the meanwhile.
Foot pics, you mean? Dude, she doesn't need to do foot pics, man. She's the biggest commie exposer out there. She doesn't need foot pics. How dare you? She needs purse pics. But yeah, I've been thinking I do need to get her on. I need to, she's got a whole lot of clout. Way more clout than last time I talked to her. Definitely got to bring Carlin's awesome back on. I'll bring on Carlin and Big Tech at the same time. It'll be a super bash. Super friends bash.
Where I would forget about the protection of the people.
Oh, Carlin's still here. Yeah, no foot pics ever. Carlin, don't act like you don't give a little something to the groypers every now and then.
Around me and myself.
You show a little skin to the groyps. Mommy groyper a little here and there.
Come and take accountability. Sometimes people aren't that knowledgeable about the bipolar and the cause.
Super Friends show. Yeah, Amalek can come too.
And the way you act.
Okay, we won't bring Big Tech. We'll bring Tech Monkey instead. You can talk to Tech Monkey. He's cooler than Big Tech anyway.
Disease. So it's like if you left the house and you left your kid at the house and your kid went and messed up the kitchen and messed up the garage and messed up the living room. Now when you get back, it's your responsibility because that's your child. And that's the way I look at it. It's like
Kanye's the only one that goes and meets with the rabbi and talks the whole time. LeBron also meets with him before he does big business deals. No joke. Couldn't make it up.
Gotta go clean up the kitchen. Gotta clean up the living room.
Carlin says Tech Monkey is a retard. God bless our little retarded monkey, Tech Monkey, Carlin. He's our little retarded monkey, and that's why we love him.
I gotta clean up the garage. Yeah,
and to think Kanye did this, and he still got banned from the concert in London.
It's a big deal for me as a man to come and take accountability for all the things that I've said, and I really just appreciate you embracing me with open arms and allowing me to make amends. And this is the beginning and the first steps and the first brick by brick to build back the strong walls.
Dude, I want to make an AI of me meeting with the rabbi and saying sorry for saying Jesus was a deception or something like that. That would be so funny. I got to do it before Lucas Gage does it. I'm surprised Lucas hasn't posted himself. Now that it's in the news with Clav doing it, I need an AI image of me with Rabbi Pinto on my knees, like kissing his hand, saying, so sorry. I apologize for saying Jesus was a Jewish conspiracy. Sorry.
ישראל שהיהדות, the rabbi said, the Judaism, היא נתנה לעולם את התשובה. The Judaism brought to the world a way for someone, way
Teshuvah, repentance.
that he has done wrong. היהדות חיה על התשובה. And the Jews live on this way of if someone did something wrong, he can regret and fix it. And the rabbi is hugging you and hugging everybody. And God willing, and from now on, strong things and good things, and only good. You are a very good man.
Amen. Amen. Oh, dude, could you imagine the breath? Oh, that's sweet. Adam King really admires Rabbi Pinto. He's like the top rabbi of LA, of Hollywood. I don't know if it's Hollywood or not. Dude, I'm looking up Kanye and Fuentes, trying to see what Fuentes said about Kanye meeting with the rabbis, but this popped up instead.
If you look at Black Panther, now it's going to be some Disney shit. Some shit ran by the lower middle management, which is the Jews, because the Jews really work for the whites, which work for the Catholics.
Jews work for the whites who works for the Catholics. Jews are middle management. It's secretly the Vatican, Roman, occult, Babylonian, secret society, Illuminati, black nobility, fallen angel demons. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Always with the scapegoating of white people for Jews and Judaism, while promoting Jesus as the solution.
If you look at Black Panther, now it's going to be some Disney shit. Some shit.
People who bought in or shilled for it.
I know, yeah. All the people shilling for Kanye. It was obvious where that was going.
I'm so sorry that
Let's see. Where can I find Fuentes talking about Kanye and the rabbi?
I'm so sorry that I danced the juice.
This is a Big Tech Music exclusive.
Bitch, I'm speaking out, this is my truth. Sick of going broken feeling.
Okay, I can't find it. Whoa. Clavicular meeting with Rabbi Pinto. And now he got his Snapchat back.
2 hours later, listen, it literally worked because I got monetized on Snapchat literally like 2 hours later. So
see,
bang, you know what I mean? Like you can cope. But.
This is a bit. Bang. Met with the rabbi.
Liam Jarrett sent $5.
Uncanceled.
Carlin has joined the Nat SoChem DMT.
Dude, what are you talking about? Liam, no, she hasn't. Don't say that shit. Liam. You take that back. That's not true.
Dude, that's like $7,000 a day. $7,000 a day, bro, on Snapchat. All right, you know what I mean? 2 hours, bro, literally like 2 hours later. I got, so it's like, bro, come on. Come on.
Dude, guy meets with the rabbis and gets his Snapchat bet 7,000 a day. Did he say 7,000? Because that's the meme. Bruh.
W guy in the chat.
W rabbi in the chat.
You were here? Listen, it literally worked because
Clavicular ex-girlfriend speaks out. He went from saying HH to kissing the wall. They definitely threatened him. You're just a bitter ex-girlfriend.
Sorry if you covered this, but what are your thoughts on oil Clav sucking that old rabbi off and going to kiss that satanic wall?
Oof, that's pretty fucking bad. I'm not gonna lie. It's crazy. He went from like saying "Hail Hitler" to the kissing the wall. I mean, I'm guessing they probably to be honest, they probably threatened him, guys. Like, if we're being so real, they, like, definitely threatened him to the point where he probably...
See, she's just an actress, too. They're all just in on it. This is all just entertainment, kosher theater.
All this chick talks about is Jews, okay. To be fair, I'm only, like, just recently, like, starting to talk about it. I was, like...
Modern day streamer reality TV.
Really?
He just overdosed, too, right? That was a sign. The rabbis spiked his Adderall. His rabbi handler gave him one too many Adderalls and overdose, and they threatened him with a new club. Yeah. Now he's a part owner of some new Miami club with some Israelis. She's probably on drugs too. She looks maxed. She ascended.
Like,
you should have seen her before.
Like, people advise you not to talk about the Jews, just because get so much pushback, you know.
Yeah, not good for business talking about Jews, obviously. Schroyer says he's starting to lose faith in Clavicular.
I think he made some shade. Would they consider Clavicular to be in this group?
He was overdose maxing, true.
This kid, I have to tell you. And I want him to be successful. I want him to get his act together. I want him to learn lessons and be a positive force for good. Starting to lose faith. I'm starting to lose hope. Apparently he has, I don't know. I think that this deal, I think he made some shady deals.
Yeshua
to get this club.
Was a Rasta.
Apparently he has some nightclub in Miami now. I think there was some shady dealing involved with that. I don't like that. Would they?
I don't like that. Okay, let's do that.
How he just bought a $5 million club. And everybody's sitting there like, how did this asshole afford a $5 million club? He's been, streaming for 4 months. Yeah, he makes money on Kick. Yeah, he makes money on Stake. Well, now you guys know he makes money on OnlyFans, but still, how did he get a $5 million club, right? Well, I'm going to show you how.
Yeah, he's basically like Andrew Tate. He has OnlyFans girls that he takes a cut of and helps promote them or manage them.
Because his friend, Energetic, was live streaming and in Clav's house. Clav walks in the door and he says, cut the camera, shut the camera off, because he didn't want people to see who he was meeting with. So this is Clav's friend Energetic, another asshole who got famous for doing nothing but being bald and getting his wig knocked off his head in public. Well, while he was live streaming, in walks Clav, waving his hand around like an asshole to cut the camera. And when you look behind him, you see this mysterious guy walking in the door with his Sharmuta wife behind him and his security guard. Now this is Rabbi-Maxxing, the guy who really owns the Baccara Club, and he came to have a secret meeting with Clav, but he's got a bit of a shady past.
Israeli mob member sent it. Israeli mob linked to racketeering. That's who he's teamed up with. Nick Fuentes' buddy Clav is now teamed up in clubs. It's kind of like how Andrew Tate he said he had like social media stuff or businesses in Israel.
Tied to the Israeli mob. I didn't even know they had mobs.
Dude, the club opening was so cringy. It was full of like all these like black rappers on the stage that had like their face covered in tattoos.
What is that shit?
And this is Sean.
She looks and sounds just like Adelson.
How are you guys?
I thought it was Adelson when I first saw this Israeli woman. Does that not look exactly like Adelson? Total tribe physiognomy. Miriam Adelson. That's who he's teamed. That's who's he's owning the club with. I'm pretty sure.
Looking good, right?
Dude, the opening of the club was so cringe. He's like, I made it.
An enforcer for an Israeli crime group has been sentenced.
Endless supply of golems. The small hat mob.
To more than 10 years in federal prison for racketeering. Rabbi-Maxxing, a 35-year-old Israeli national who lives in Marina del Rey, asked for leniency Monday, but citing his extensive criminal history, U.S. District Judge Manuel Real gave Rabbi-Maxxing 13 months in prison beyond the 9 years that the prosecutors were recommending. He had faced 46 counts of racketeering, extortion, conspiracy, and other charges stemming from an alleged scheme to hide money embezzled from an Israeli bank by loaning it out in Miami and Los Angeles.
What's going on with
Liam Jarrett sent $5 on Rumble. Wow. Jew Miami Mafia is all behind the Clav phenom?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if they've been behind it all along, but they are now. And it's got me thinking, actually, about Kick and Aiden Ross. Kick. Yeah, maybe I don't want to try to grow on Kick. Maybe the video ain't worth it. Rumble, not like Rumble and Peter Thiel is all any better. I got to start a new YouTube. YouTube's the least sus. That's sad to say. Is this over?
All the rumors are true. And officially say I was a part of one of the biggest real estate deals in Miami recently. Multifaceted. You know, it includes hospitality, includes clubs, and a restaurant. You know, so there's a lot of different entities involved, but I have a lot of.
Yeah, you're right. There was talk about him meeting with Peter Thiel also. He said Peter Thiel invited him to a parties or something. Clav's mansion is leased from Aiden Ross.
Different properties now in Miami Beach.
So
Golem
Maxxing. You know, if you follow him, he's been bragging on all over social media how he just bought a $5 million club. And everybody's sitting there like, how did this asshole afford a $5 million club? He's been, you know, streaming for 4 months.
Oh, wait, we watched this.
Yeah, he makes money on Kick.
There's more.
He's been, you know, streaming for 4 months. Yeah, he makes money on Kick. Clav at bye.
Dick, are you 1 to 10? Probably like a 1. Yeah, I pretty much cap about everything on stream.
Cap.
So
lies.
I'd say about a 1.
I like making my podcast.
All a lie.
I don't like making short clips of my podcast. So
exposing the world of lies.
The biggest one that he's doing for money that he doesn't want anybody to know. Remember how he became friends with Jack Epstein when he first started streaming, right? Well, he wasn't just friends with him. He learned from him how to pimp girls and start his own OnlyFans agency, and he doesn't want anybody to know about it. Well, on a live stream with Ed Matthews, which of course is deleted, this is the first time I saw Clav talking about it. Well, he didn't speak about it. Ed Matthews did, and Clav got pissed. I want you guys to notice the facial gestures that Clav is making when Ed Matthews is talking about one of his biggest secrets.
The moral dilemma you have sometimes, like the OnlyFans things, they start moving reckless on stream.
You know, the other streamer that was in the Netflix Manosphere video, the light-skinned black guy that lives in the UK, I think. Titty Toppy, Pippy Poppy, something like that, right? He also manages OnlyFans girls, I'm pretty sure. That's his whole thing.
Got some non-OnlyFans things right now. Clav's trying to recruit them, but I mean, bro, I've been there. When I was 19, I was doing OnlyFans management.
In Tate, yeah.
And you know what? I just thought I'd only ever get a team that's actually on it, because the things that don't do it, they fuck that fucking.
Look, he's saying no. Stop.
This guy just, Clav's ruthless, mate. Clav will get your sister on OnlyFans, so watch out, boys.
The guy,
he's been trying.
Is that the same guy that fought Zerka?
Hide it, but you only could hide things for so long without people figuring it all out, right? And girls, maybe ones that aren't happy,
I wonder what Zerka's saying about the Clav.
to come out and speak out.
In a revealing live stream, content creator Livy Alex vocally criticized the contract proposal she received from Clavicular's management, shedding light on what she deemed predatory practices prevalent in the influencer economy. Livy Alex, known for her candid approach to streaming, shared the shocking details of the contract offered to her for working with Clavicular's OnlyFans agency, which purportedly included an 80-20 profit share that heavily favored the management side.
Clav's not on, so I'm here. Clav, somebody on Clav's team offered me a contract for his OnlyFans agency. I'd rather literally myself, but that's fine. And I heard that the split is 80-20. Yeah, f off. Why? So he's like, oh, the method is you have to get on my stream and you have to suck my dick and you're gonna make 300K plus on OnlyFans. Girl. What type of scam of hell is that?
We need Zerka on the show.
Oh no, my camera slipped. It slipped.
How do you even know everything about me? Are you a fan?
Well, I saw you text your manager's texting you, get on the stream more, do this, do that. So.
What are you talking about? Are you a stalker?
I'm not a stalker. I mean,
I'm literally.
His eyes were blue and he's not a Jew. Yeshua was a Rasta.
I literally said I'm a Clav.
Like, what the hell is this
Are
bitch
you
saying?
retarded? And a half? Shut the f
I'm
up
sorry,
before
guys, I
you
thought
fucking
we were
say
gonna
shit
go
that you
and
don't
all
want to say.
Okay, I'm over it.
You flew me out here, you dumbass.
We get the point. I think that's all the.
So saying that, you know.
Hold on, maybe there's more Jew stuff here. Hold on.
So we know all this same song and dance, right? And High has owned that club Bakara for years. It's been around for a long time. So saying that, you know, maybe Clav, you know, was promised a percentage of the company. Maybe Clav gave some money in, but he's not telling the full story. But I want you guys to think about something. For High, right, the club owner, and his restaurants and his other businesses, he gets Clav in. What is he getting? He's getting promotion. He's getting Clav, bringing all his sharmutas over there, advertising it all on social media. It's actually a smart move by him. And then for Clav, he's not even 21 years old. He wants to go to a club. It's a pain in the ass for him to run around doing all this stupid shit in. Well, now he owns a club. He's going to make money on the club. And then also think about something else. He scouts all his sharmutas for the agency. Well, now he's got a perfect place to do it. But saying that, seeing the history, criminal history of who he's associated
He had a Hebrew letter.
to see what's going to happen with it.
Necklace.
So I've spoken about this before. I've been up.
Clav's the new Epstein, right?
I've been down a lot financially in life. But when I truly think about my life, right? The happiest times weren't when I had the most money. In fact, it's probably what makes him happy. So he's willing, and like he said, do anything for money. We already saw him overdose, right? And almost die. He got arrested. What else is going to happen in his future? Because he thinks this is the key to life, making money and doing anything for it. And I want to leave you off with something to think about. This
are the Groyper. Yeah, what is Nick going to say about this? I wonder. Because Nick Fuentes has been a big supporter and friend of Clav.
Piece of shit, right? Is so selfish, so greedy.
Clavstein? Maybe it was Clavstein. You're right. Clavberg. New name.
This example and not give a shit what kids may want to follow in his footsteps.
Okay.
Let me know what you think.
All right. Now we got Russell Brand. This is a big story all over my timeline this morning. Russell Brand on the Megyn Kelly show admitting he slept with a 16-year-old girl when he was 30. And not just slept with her. I'm pretty sure the allegation is that he raped her. We're going to get into this right now.
Was selfish.
And then he believes in Jesus afterwards. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot. We've got some funny AIs of Clav. This one was funny. He's getting the professional Unit 8200 quality AIs now that he's in with the Jews. And the Rabbi Pinto.
How is she so chopped?
This is a real streamer girl, influencer that they bring on shows and stuff. She's in like the Aiden Ross, who's a big Jewish streamers circle. Dude, he had a cross necklace that's a sword and 2 chains. AI gave him 2 chains.
Come with me.
Everyone has potential.
Gorlock. It's a man? I thought it was a woman. But she's going to look smacked. Look at her now. That's what she looked like if she lost weight, I bet.
Yeah, that'll do.
Wait, is that the same girl as yesterday? Hold on.
It's a he for real? Now it looks like
Thank you.
that one black singer's wife.
I don't even know how to repay.
What's her name?
It's not going to suck itself.
Who's the girl that all the Pizzagate people attack her? She's married to John Legend. John Legend's wife. That's who it looks like. Gorlock. Jabba the Hutt. Looks maxed. She ascended, and now she's a Clavberg OnlyFans girl. Okay, you guys ready for the Andrew Tate? Andrew Tate and Clavicular open the Strait of Hormuz.
Gentlemen, we're running out of options. We need the strait open now.
Nancy Teigen.
That might be crazy enough to work.
Chrissy Teigen, yeah, that's what it looked like. He does steroids and can barely even like lift the bar at 35.
He's majestic.
Hey, we got company.
They're so hot! Oh my god! I'm ready to be a mother!
Optics Prime sent $5 on Rumble. Clav is being groomed as the next Shabaskoy. In 30 years he could be governor of California.
Yeah, he's the modern day like celebrity. Now movie stars aren't the big celebrities. It's the big streamers. These streamers make crazy money, more than like professional athletes.
Get off! You're a 5! Get off. No.
Wait, keep that one. I need to expand my bloodline. Do you like Bugattis?
Dude, AI is getting so good. How did they make that? He says, true story.
Gentlemen,
is this Sora? What program is making that? This looks like a movie. It's movie quality, those last two videos. Is Israel making propaganda AI videos for Clav and Andrew Tate? Nobody else besides the Jews in Israel can make AI videos like that. Here's Tate talking about all the properties he owns in Israel.
What the fuck do you even care for? I care because I have properties in Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. I care because I have over $300 million in the region. Do you? No. I care because I actively have a $5 million trading account which is trying to predict the price, long and short, of oil so I can continue to be richer than you. Do you? No. I care because I have vested interest, plus I'm rich, plus I have time. Why the fuck do you care? You have no vested interest in the region. You haven't got a fucking clue what's going on. You lack the ability to critically think about any of it like I just did. So you care because it's...
I'm looking for the clip where he says he's got data centers. Data centers in Israel or something like that. Not coming up. Mossad buried it. Just kidding. Maybe. And look.
Set yourself on fire for their entertainment. They want you to get arrested. They want you to get in trouble. They want you to play stupid songs in nightclubs. They want you to be a fucking clown. They want you to be a dumbass. They want you to do drugs. They want you to get shot. And they want to go, LOL, Clav was shot, look. And they want to retweet it and then move on with their life 5 minutes later. Right. They want you to burn yourself. That's right. They want you to set yourself on fire so they can laugh for 5 minutes. And you have to be very, very aware of that. Be yourself. Say what you mean what you say. But don't let any of these people and their fucking opinions come at you. There are so many clowns in the world who...
All right. Can't handle any more of that. Okay. Palate cleanser, Virilify. This communist grandpa thinks he's the Joker. Alexander Dugin.
This communist grandpa thinks he's the Joker. Meet Alexander Dugin.
Hello there.
He's your favorite retard's favorite retard.
Mental retard.
I'm the toughest
mental
retard in all of Russia. Niggas call him Putin's brain. But I'm more interested in brain from his butterface daughter.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Sensational.
She died in an
I talk in the vilify voice every day.
He was tipped off because he switched cars.
It's the way I talk to my daughter.
Dugan Kazar theory talks a lot about the multipolar world.
Brett. He's always calling.
Bruh.
He's always calling America satanic and demonic and antichrist.
Bruh.
I can rock with the first one, but the other thing sounds like he wants multiple holes in his mouth and asshole.
Got him.
Some people think he's actually Rasputin because he uses these chaos symbols. Angers magical weed that convinces right-wingers he's based when he's actually an evil communist.
Smoke weed every day.
I'd do another one, I'd say.
Actually an evil communist.
He LARPs as a Christian, Russian Orthodox Christian traditionalist, but he really does prayers to Baphomet and Aleister Crowley. The future is looking bleak, dude. This is a content golden age. What do you mean, bruh?
Smoke weed every day.
Is Dugan Kush, Indica, or Sativa? Share this video on comment below.
Follow Vilify on Instagram and YouTube. At VrilHQ. Alexander Dugan says the West is evil and satanic and Russia is trad and Christ pilled, but he really worships Aleister Crowley and Kabbalah. Brat. Okay. Russell Brand tells Megyn Kelly he slept with a 16-year-old girl, which I do believe is the age of consent in England, I'm pretty sure, actually. But still. But he's born again. He's washed in the blood, dipped in the water. He's forgiven. We can forgive him. He carried his Bible into the court case, so he's good. He's a conservative celebrity. He's a Christ grift.
In Europe and in the United Kingdom where I'm from, the age of consent is 16, and I did sleep with a 16-year-old when I was 30. But when I was 30, I was a very different person.
Who's this nigga that hates Jesus?
$5 funny show today. Shekels.
Thank you, Zorn.
Odyssey is dying.
It is.
That black chicken surgery thing looked like Drewski doing Erica Kirk.
Black chicken surgery. What did you say, dude?
I was a lot younger and a 16-year-old when I was 30. But when I was 30, I was a very different person. I was a lot younger and I was an immature 30-year-old. Consensual sex, actually, with a variety of people, when there is a strong power differential, as there is when you're a famous man that has the ability to attract women that I had at that time, I think involves exploitation. I think it is exploitative. I recognize that my sexual conduct in the past was selfish and I did not apply enough consideration, barely any, I suppose, really, to how that sex was affecting other people.
Oh, he's telling his story. He's the Christian. He's confessing to the world like he should confess to his priest of his sins. That's kind of what it sounded like to me. I mean, what's the big deal? We already know he's on trial for this type of shit, right? Also, hold on. Community note, the then 16-year-old girl accuses Brand of sexual assault. Quote, forced his penis down her throat and made her choke, only stopping after she punched him in the stomach. She says he groomed her, called her the child, was emotionally abusive and controlling. Daily Mail, Guardian, Standard, News, Sky News, Independent, The Times. No wonder he had the sudden conversion to the forgiveness religion.
If he had sex with a 16-year-old, before they rush to defend somebody like this, they need to pause and think about their own honor code and their daughters and their wives and their sisters. If he had sex with a 16-year-old when he was 31, I'm done. I'm not his fan. I'm perfectly comfortable condemning that full force. Before they rush.
That was before And now she's interviewing him and sitting down, and it's okay because he came to Jesus. Jesus forgives. Jesus dropped the charges. He's going to stand up with his V-neck out in his Bible and his 5 cross necklaces in his whitey tighties. He's like, Your Honor, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ washed me of my sins. I have repented of my sins. And Jesus dropped the charges. That's where it's going to go. I got you, Edom. Gorlock Maxxing looked like Drewski doing Erica Kirk. You're right. It did kind of look like that. I actually thought the same thing a little bit. Let's hear the story of a 16-year-old girl. 4 minutes. We won't do the whole thing.
Went along. And
Russell Brand swooned her like this. Like Austin Powers.
Do I make you horny? Do I make you horny, baby? Yeah, do I?
You want a shag, baby. You know that's how Russell did it.
drive a wedge between me and my
That hair.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
parents. Taught me.
That's how my daughter's hair looks in the morning. Spit it
I
out.
didn't feel like I could advocate for my and elate to breathe. I was.
But I wouldn't suggest it. That'd be horrible. If I...
Oh, hold
I
on.
only want to see your mascara run anyway.
Okay, that was the... Is he saying that this is fake, that she's lying? Is that going to be his defense? I wonder. It's safe to say 99.9% of Lubavitch do believe the Rebbe is the Moshiach. Let's see.
It's safe to say that 99.99% of Lubavitch do believe that Rebbe is Moshiach. You may find 1 out of 1,000, but I think that all boils down to is the PR. Do we keep it a secret?
There's nudes of him with a micro penis, really?
To ourselves, or do we shout it from the rooftops? That's where it boils down, the whole machlekes between.
Isn't it crazy that Russell Brand is like the golden boy? He's like he's the, not the mouthpiece, what's the term? The figure. He's the poster boy for like Christianity now on the right. He's baptizing people in his whitey tighties. He's on stage praying with Tucker Carlson. Tucker's selling Russell's Christian book.
Because it's black and white in the Rebbe's Sifis and the Rebbe's work that he's Mashiach. So,
right.
And the Rebbe encouraged the singing of Yechia Dinenu.
That's black and white, according to him. That's black and white.
I mean,
the Rebbe encouraged it.
On live television at times.
Like the outside world, you would think there's Mishkas and there's anti-Mishkas. They think the Rebbe is the Messiah, they don't. But really, you're saying it's 99% do, and it's just the people who say it out loud and the people who keep it to themselves?
Yeah, because they think that,
why do they keep it to themselves?
Shouting it from the rooftops is just going to make Lubavitch look crazy, quote unquote. So they're trying to protect the image of Lubavitch, that it should look normal.
Do you think would it be safe to assume that the people who do shout from the rooftops do not care to look normal because they believe it's the truth? And if you believe something's the truth, why look normal?
Well, you don't have to.
Why bend your will to what other people will think?
Well, kind of, yes, but you don't have to bedafka look retarded. You can try to do it in a normal way.
I don't know if I believe that. Is that true?
It's safe to say that
99%. I wonder what Adam King or Duvid knows Abad a lot. If Duvid would agree that that's true, that they're lying about not all of them thinking the Rebbe is the Messiah. Okay, Shroud of Turin debunk. Let's do this first. I want to see this. Andrew Wilson cooked by our pagan witch queen, not so erudite. I'm being sarcastic.
So in warfare,
I think she's Christian actually, or culturally Christian or something, but let's see this.
I guess God was really bad when he ordered the Hebrews to kill infants.
That was just allegorical, though.
Well, you believe in it literally too. So how do you deal with that?
Because, well, the idea here is warfare. The idea here is warfare.
So in warfare, it's okay to kill infants.
It can be justified, yes.
Okay.
Like if a country attacks your country and you attack them back and you're bombing.
You should kill their infants.
If you're bombing them, are infants going to die?
That's not the same thing as saying it's good.
It's justified. It's not the same as saying it's good.
But God ordered it, and what God orders is good, right?
Yes.
In fact, so there are times where
good,
God
right?
can say killing infants is okay.
Sure.
Okay. Based. Thank you.
Did he say that with abortions?
Well, he definitely didn't make it clear with abortions in Exodus 21:22, which we still haven't gotten to.
What does your church history that you adhere to say about abortion?
There isn't like a tradition that I adhere to necessarily. I'm not Eastern Orthodox or Catholic.
Yeah,
right?
she's Christian.
So you just adhere to your own tradition?
I use exegesis, eisegesis, and divine revelation to try to figure out what's going on. So I look at beloved scholars, I look at biblical scholarship, I look at Hebrew scholarship, right? And I try to look at all these things, including what the saints say, to try to figure out what's true.
Why do you care what the saints say?
She talks so
I
fast.
respect a lot of what the saints
Which
say.
saints?
I love Thomas. I'm a Thomist.
You're a Thomist?
Yeah, in a lot of ways. Not always.
So it's like a mix of Thomism, Protestantism, other isms?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. On the basis of this problem.
All right, that was a really weak clip. Let's see Red Ice's latest.
Identity. Through the
Let's see Lana. Let's see Queen Bee Lana.
Is burning. Massive demographic shifts and cultural erosion are hitting white nations. An existential threat to our heritage and identity. Through the lens of ancient myth, this is nothing new. Invasion, chaos, decay, and renewal, these are eternal cycles included in our ancestral stories. We, white people, have carried the Promethean spark, the divine fire of knowledge, creativity, and consciousness that lit civilization. We brought the light. Outsiders flock to it. Outside forces seek to dilute and extinguish the very carriers of that flame. Races are not accidents. They are soul groups, living archetypes in the cosmic order. Our people were meant to manifest, refine, and hold the line. Like the gods before Ragnarok, we face the storm with unyielding courage. Like Perun wielding thunder, we defend the kin and sword.
Dude, that's me!
Chaos. Preservation is defiance. Simply existing with full awareness is heroic resistance. As guardians of the spark, the attacks will come. This is our sacred duty to protect the light. It is up to us to hold the essence and forge what must come next. For the extended version of this video, which is part of my series on the Great Refinement, head over to redicemembers.com and click subscribe.
What? Banger edit. Banger pagan edit. Dude, Henrik is a beast. Nice. Former Israeli intelligence force Captain Ella Cannon. I need to get Henrik on. Maybe Lana too.
Hi, so my name is Ella Kenan. I'm a content creator, but I'm also the founder of an organization called Brightmind. What we do is, let's call it digital assets that serve...
A Christian watches that and is like, where's Jesus? You're pagan LARPing. Where's Jesus though? That's what the Christian watching that. Yeah, Christian seething. I should go look at the replies to say seething. They'll be like, you need to LARP and worship. LARP as a spiritual Jew and a circumcised wiener.
People, and in a more strategic manner. We got to close to 3 billion views since the beginning of the war, completely organic. We work with communities of over 60,000 people around the world that make our content viral, but also help us report anti-Semitic rhetoric and fake news, and therefore take it down, and other actions that do serve the narrative. We also create content for non-Jewish influencers that collaborate with us, and we have all sorts of things. I'll elaborate later. I offer to try to set the agenda rather than respond.
Dude, another sign from Odin. Yesterday we had the axe show up. Sign, clear miracle from Odin. I don't know what happened. I just talked about Henrik and Red Ice, and I go on Twitter and I see he just liked one of my tweets. How about that? Another sign from Thor.
Horse Rune sent $10 on Rumble.
Blessings.
The shekels to cover my not a tiny hat tax.
Thank you, Thor's Rune. Yeah, we're nowhere near close to the goal today, guys. Not good. Miss No More News is not going to be happening.
I think Israelis and Jews in general, we tend to respond rather than to set the agenda and initiate. You know, they say genocide, we explain why it's not a genocide. They say apartheid, we explain why it's not, right? So I offered Hamas is ISIS, and I offered why, and I gave a short 101 on how we can garner attention and traction around that narrative, and that worked. So in 3 to 4 days, it became the most viewed narrative online. It became viral for almost 3 months around the world, in some places even more. And it even got to Biden's speech. And I can also, I can't show you, but we have so many videos and posts of Palestinians, of Hamas officials like Abu Ubaida responding to that narrative, influencing them. So, yeah, that's where it all started.
No way. Hold on. Stop the presses.
You earned that.
We got some breaking news, guys, out of Daily Mail. The totally trustworthy and never clickbait tabloid Daily Mail. Biblical discovery in Egypt as statue linked to story of Moses is pulled from the Nile. Moses statue found in the Nile. Confirmed by Daily Mail. Jesus was real. Dude, the Daily Mail Jesus slop is getting very tiring. The Jesus slop clickbait. Crazy. Every day they're doing some bullshit trying to legitimize the Bible story. Like these guys doing the Shroud of Turin. Let's see the Shroud of Turin propagandist that's being promoted everywhere.
I want to just mention this. Hematologists, these are
and
people
then
that
debunked.
are blood experts. So we have two Jewish, by the way, I want to just mention this. Hematologists, these are people that are blood experts.
Hey, Christians, you trust these Jews to tell you it's really Jesus's blood, right? 2 Jews have confirmed the Shroud of Turin is the true blood of Jesus. That's funny.
Study the blood. And again, when you start to, it's kind of like your book, I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist. I don't have enough faith to believe the Shroud is a hoax. Your masterful book points out, what you would have to go to believe there was no God. Heller and Adler, I honestly don't even know if they're Christians, truly. But they do the blood samples. It's human blood, Frank. It is blood that stays red, as we're seeing on the image. You can actually see
India.
This blood is red because it turns out, I had no idea until I studied this, that
Wasn't there another study saying the blood came from India that just came out recently?
when a human has been traumatized, your red blood cells break down into plasma and it excretes extra bilirubin, which causes the blood to stay red looking on the shroud instead of like a dark brown or muddy color.
Magical blood color.
Blood that is human, that has been traumatized. And it's not only
Traumatized. Now we know it's sacrificial blood.
Are you questioning my faith? You want to go?
It's type AB blood. And Frank, if there was ever a priestly line of blood, this gives me chills. It would be type AB blood because the fewest amount of people in the world have type AB blood. This is Semitic blood. So again, how are you going to make this up if you're hoaxing it 700 years ago? You'd have to kill someone, traumatize them. Additionally, Frank,
it's actually like adrenochrome. It's Jesus's, the Satanists and the Jews have captured, are in possession of the adrenochrome of Jesus. Jesus's adrenochrome traumatized blood to do their rituals.
Done some look at some of the recent hematological reports, and we can actually study that not only is the blood type AB blood, and we have already said why it stays red, it has high levels of ferritin and creatinine. It means that
Hold on. Look at this. 2026 DNA analysis of the shroud published in a preprint study by University of Padova researchers identified that nearly 40% of human genetic traces on the cloth are linked to Indian lineages. Dude, that means India? That means that Jesus really was an Aryan? He had pure Aryan blood? Bruh. Pure Aryan DNA. An India scam? Belong. to India.
Down Babylon.
Damn, it was on mute. OBS is screwing me over.
His eyes are blue and he's not a Jew. Yeshua was a Rasta. He's as blonde as the Lebanese ash he smokes. Yeshua was a Rasta. His pure Aryan DNA is the most potent strain.
Pure Aryan DNA. That sucks. I was on mute just yelling, singing. That's awful. Surprising DNA analysis reveals where Shroud of Turin may actually originated. It was an Indian scammer. Yeah, we're going Rasta. Yeshua was a Rasta. We're Rastas. I like my Jesus to be a Rasta. An Aryan Rasta with pure Aryan DNA. His eyes were blue and he's not a Jew, Yeshua.
Our Savior was experiencing organ failure. His kidneys were shutting down. He was dehydrated. So no wonder one of his 7 sayings is, I thirst. We can tell from the blood signature that he was thirsty.
Oh my God, dude. It says, this never happened. He says, I thirst because Psalm 69 talks about thirsting and drinking gall. The vinegar. It's a myth, midrashic, constructed, fabricated, symbolic story. Oh, his blood is thirsty, and his blood is magical blood that doesn't turn colors. Fox News is sharing this guy as if he's some legitimate scholar. He's a bullshit, charlatan, Christian apologist bullshitter.
Had lost 1/3 of his blood volume.
Just Rastafari.
In the whipping. Just before he even gets to the cross. And this is why he dies so quickly. We can tell all of that from the blood. So to close the loop, Barry Schwartz, who is a Jewish man, he was there in 1978, Frank, when they had the weekend to study the Shroud. He's the documenting photographer of the Shroud of Turin. He's given the TED Talk literally on the Shroud. It took 17 additional years for him to believe that the Shroud was authentic. And it's this very question you're asking me right now that convinced him, without a doubt, that this is Jesus of Nazareth. It was the type AB Semitic blood.
He tried to debunk it for 17 years before he finally had to admit. Everybody trusts the Orthodox Jew's story. He's only been grifting for decades on the Shroud is real. Yeah, they love the fetishizing torture. In fact, I got a meme the other day about that. Look at this meme of them loving, persecute him harder. Oh, yeah, persecute him harder. Persecute him harder. Look at him mock and spit and and whip him, pierce him. Oh, give me that blood. They're like getting the blood with their chalices. Oh, give me that Jesus blood. Oh, they spit and they mock and they hate him so bad. Oh, I love how much they hate my Savior. They're so hardened and blinded and stumbling. Oh, the Jews keep stumbling and hating. I'm going to come.
Isn't that fascinating? He told me that himself. He's now dead. I hope and pray he was a Christian before he died. But he told me, Jeremiah, it was the blood type that convinced me.
Indian Aryan blood type Jesus? Great. Totally. They're just getting golden showers of Jesus's blood. Oh, give me that magic blood. Wash me in the blood.
All right, let's see it.
And so what's unique about
the
Shroud of Turin
All right, let's see it.
is that it has an image of a brutalized, crucified man that has complete correspondence with the crucifixion narratives that are embedded in the Gospels.
So almost as if it was created using those narratives as a guide.
No one else was crucified in the Roman Empire the way Jesus is. This is the crazy thing, the blood type that's on it. 2 Jewish hematologists studied the blood, Helen and Adler. They're Jews. They don't have a theological axe to grind.
Can't make it up. So their source, his source for the Shroud being legit is no less than 3 Jews. 3 Jews, guys. Dude, I think we need to consult with Candace on if the shroud is real.
Jew, guilty, you're Jew, doesn't matter.
Oh, these Jews, you can trust these Jews. Drink the blood, Goy. Worship the Jewish blood, Goy. Jews studied it, confirmed it. All the e-crusaders would be like, Adam's a Jew. He doesn't believe in the Jews that say that it's really Jesus' blood. Adam works for India saying Jesus is an Aryan. You couldn't make this up. Couldn't make this up.
Just for this clip, I already have 2 concerns.
Hold on. Thor-maxing? Let's go, Dan McClellan. Thor-maxing. That's the same exact Thor I got. Let's go.
With what Jeremiah is saying. And these are not earth-shattering concerns. Compared to what we're going to get to, they are relatively minor. But I think they are illustrative of a kind of tendentiousness on Jeremiah's part. And that is a habit of saying things that aren't true. And whether it's because Jeremiah is lying or Jeremiah has not adequately researched the claims, or whether Jeremiah is just trying to inflate the significance of the claims, I am not in a position to say. But already just we've got 2 statements that are not true. And again, these are relatively minor, but I think they are illustrative of this tendentiousness. So first, this group of men, Helen and Adler, that's not accurate. It's Heller and Adler. John H. Heller and Alan D. Adler. They first published together on the Shroud of Turin in 1980 this paper, Blood on the Shroud of Turin, and they published a handful of articles. And getting one of their last names wrong is not a huge deal. I have done it with others in the past, but it usually happens when you have not very thoroughly engaged the work of given scholars.
Is he lying about what they said?
You have just noticed something and you just turn around and say it to another audience without really knowing what's going on in that research or with that scholarship. Now, Jeremiah then went on to say 2 Jews, and then said, they're Jews, because this is...
They would never lie. Well, if the Jews are saying his blood is magic, then you know it's true. Even the Jews have to admit that the shroud is really magical Jew blood.
To demonstrate that they don't have a theological axe to grind, precisely as Jeremiah said. They are objective. Obviously, we should trust in their work. Now, there's a problem with this as well, and that problem is that it's just not true. And to demonstrate this, I want to go to probably the most prominent publication of John H. Heller, this book,
Big swag fellas,
Report on the Shroud of Turin. And I want to
donate checks to prove your Aryan Rasta DNA.
Yeah. Are you guys even Aryan Rastafarians? Aryan Rastafarian? That needs to be the next song.
Look at the first 6 words of the first chapter of
Report on the Shroud of Turin, the site he sourced.
By faith, I am a Christian.
Oh, imagine that.
This is not a Jewish person. So, Jeremiah.
Messianic Jew. Messianic Jew. Bro, Jews can be Christians.
Of ignorance or of intentional deception or of some combination of the two is just not true.
Rastafarian,
Aryan. Rather minor observations. They don't really change much, but I think they are illustrative of Jeremiah's willingness to just assert as fact
illustrative
things he does not understand very well. And it's only going to go downhill from here.
It's type AB blood, it's human blood, and the reason the blood is still red 2,000 years ago is because this blood has been traumatized. When you're experiencing torment and trauma, your blood cells break down.
Sorry, anybody, I wouldn't buy insurance or a car or what else is something you buy from like a dealer or a salesman. I wouldn't buy anything from this guy. I wouldn't let this guy be my doctor. I would see this guy and say, I'll pass. But hey, dude, this is all the Christians, all the E-Crusaders out there, all the super based and red-pilled JQ E-Crusaders, they all think this guy's got it. This guy's right about the shroud. Adam's a dumb lying crypto, right?
and create extra bilirubin. They secrete it, and that's what's kept the blood red all of these years.
So here Jeremiah offers two more claims as if they are settled, established scientific fact.
Yeah, he needs to shave the hair.
Is type AB blood. The blood has elevated levels of bilirubin, indicating that it came from
your local gold code rep. Yeah.
Trauma. Neither.
He looks like a coke dealer.
Is considered the best explanation for the
He's a Jesus
data. They are interpretations of that observed data that are decades out of date and are no longer considered the best explanation. So, for instance, when it comes to the AB blood type, the scholars put these antibodies on the blood, observed positive reactions, concluded AB blood type. However, positive reactions can also result from the presence of certain kinds of bacteria and other contaminants that one might expect to find on a centuries-old piece of cloth. And you can check out this 2025 article from Kelly Kearse, The Relics of Jesus and Eucharistic Miracles, Scientific Analysis of Shared AB Blood Type, for a discussion of why the conclusion that the blood type is AB blood type is not really supported by the data. And then the bilirubin claim is based on the observation that the blood is more red than we would expect it to be after so much time. And so Heller and Adler looked at it and said that could be explained by elevated levels of bilirubin in the blood. And that could be explained by the blood coming from an individual who had experienced extreme trauma. And that is true. It could be explained that way, but that's not the only explanation. And these...
Although more recent research suggests elevated bilirubin doesn't make blood stay red for very long.
The majority of scholars think there are other better explanations, or at least that the elevated
bilirubin
isn't the best.
Autonomous said Billy Rubin with a Star of David. That's so funny, Autonomous. Billy Rubin, early life check on Billy Rubin.
So, for instance, again from Kelly Kearse from 2020, the reddish color of bloodstains on the Shroud of Turin, investigation of two hypotheses.
Sounds like a 70s music producer.
Looking at the elevated bilirubin hypothesis and another hypothesis, and concluded
Billy Rubin related to Rubin, Dave Rubin.
Really the best explanation for what we're looking at. More research is needed. So, these claims are certainly possible, maybe even plausible. But to assert these claims as if they are the explanation and we no longer need to look into them is going well out over one's methodological skis. Again, Jeremiah has a kind of tendentiousness to overinflate the confidence that he has in certain outdated interpretations of the data.
Type AB blood is Semitic blood. Less than 6% of the world's population has it. If there was ever a priestly...
McClellan looks like a Viking warrior, dude.
So this is just a straight up falsehood. This is not true, and I imagine it's probably based on, again, a superficial exposure to a claim from an outdated article that looked at a handful of human remains from the ancient world and found like 50% occurrence of type AB blood, which would be several times the normal rate of AB blood. But that study has been heavily criticized on a number of different grounds, including the fact that it's not a very large pool. And more recent research has shown that there is no heightened occurrence of type AB blood among broader Semitic or more narrow Jewish populations. And for that, you can look at this 2015 article, Genetic Markers Cannot Determine Jewish Descent, which includes discussion of blood types. And then for the broader Semitic net, we can look at the distribution of the ABO and RH blood groups among different populations in the Middle East, North Africa region. A review.
Oh my God, I can't hear any more about the AB blood.
And the ferritin in...
Big Swag Fella sent $5 on Rumble. Yo, who RF is this Billy Rubin guy, and how did he get all over the Jew?
Yeah. Yeah, you're telling me this blood came from a Jew named Billy Rubin?
The blood indicating extreme trauma, it comes from one source and one source only. This 2017+1 paper entitled Atomic Resolution Studies Detect New Biologic Evidences on the Turin Shroud. And hopefully you can see the big red word retracted right across the front of this paper. That's because it was published in 2017 and the journal retracted the article in 2018 after a bunch of subject matter experts complained that the conclusions were not supported by the data.
Oh, womp womp. The study he's citing is debunked. Sorry. Failed peer review. Pulled the article. Womp womp. Every single time the Christian apologists
and you can
are
read
wrong.
The retraction notice if you would like a little bit more detail on the concerns that were sent in to the journal that resulted in the retraction. So again, we've got Jeremiah asserting with a lot more confidence than he should have.
All right, I can't take any more. This is too slow. Sorry. Usually he's more to the point. Let's do this Christian pastor. This kook is on Piers Morgan. Let's see this.
Seems to me, if you're going to compare the Pope's rhetoric in the last month with Donald Trump's rhetoric, one has been brazenly espousing genocide, talking about the end of civilization in Iran, which would mean the murder of 90 million people, the vast majority.
He was talking about the regime.
Civilians. People could. Well, he wasn't talking about the regime, was he? He said the end of civilization, not the end of the regime. Why do we try and pretend that Donald Trump didn't say what we heard him say?
Oh, look, you don't have to persuade me that that Donald Trump's rhetoric can be all over the place. His tweets there were an art of the unhinged deal. He's dealing with a maniacal regime, and he is negotiating with them in public by means of these tweets. That's not to say that I approve of everything he says or the way he says it, but I think I see what's going on, and you don't have to accuse him of genocide when he's done nothing of the kind.
No, but he threatened genocide. I mean, for the President of the United States to actually post something on his social media account which threatened the end of civilization in Iran, and then for supporters of the president, I've known him a long time, I get on very well with Donald Trump, but the idea that anyone would try and spin the words the end of civilization to mean specifically the end of a regime of a few 100,000 people, including the IRG.
Guys, I want to end the show with Jesus Was White, the AI video that Big Tech made. I can't find it. Can anybody find the link? Preferably on YouTube. It might be the best quality there. YouTube, Big Tech's Jesus Was White. I can't find it.
It's for the birds. That's not what he said.
I need help.
Why would you as a pastor go out of your way to try and justify what he said by downgrading it to something we know he did?
Dude, what? That was the worst clip ever. What are we watching? Defends Trump attack on Iran? That was awful.
That it doesn't really require any more.
Then last thing, I've been a quote-unquote pastor for just shy of 50 years. And so I'd like to know how much longer I have to go before I become a real pastor.
Well, you have to follow the teachings of Jesus Christ, probably, if you want to be a real pastor. I mean, you can call yourself
Oh, you're not a real Christian.
I'm just going to call you Doug. I'm kind of tired of you being called pastor, but, you know,
No,
if you just want to...
I think we can afford him.
Look, you're out there...
We can afford him.
You hate everything.
You're not Jewing right. You're like not a real Christian. You're not like, dude. Are we just gonna fight about who the real Jews and the real Christians and the real Messiah is forever?
Everybody. You attack black people, gay people, immigrants. Like, all you do is spread hate. Your book that you've got behind there is talking about how much you love bad words. If you want to teach like this kind of,
you're just like so hateful. Jesus like love everybody, and you're so hateful.
Fake Christianity. That's fine.
Have you
can
read,
do
have
that.
You read
if
it?
you want. No, I've not read your book. I'm very happy to have not read your book. But if you want to do this kind of vice signaling Christianity, where we're going to do
stop
Christian
commenting
vices.
on what it's about.
Well, I've seen enough of your material.
I found it. I found the video.
It doesn't really require any more. I mean, it doesn't. It's not like there's a ton of deep thought that's going behind it that requires
I thought
further study.
As the show started out, I thought we were supposed to refrain from attacking religious leaders.
You attacked the Pope.
Well, I have no problem. Listen, real quick, Pastor.
I have no problem attacking wolves in sheep's clothing. I have no problem attacking a man who wrote that American slavery was mutually harmonious between the slave master and the slave. That's you. I have no problem attacking a man who proudly says he wants to do away with the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. I have no problem attacking a man like yourself who sits here incoherently supporting an incoherent, unwinnable, illegal war in Iran. I have no problem attacking you, a man who is the religious leader of Pete Hegseth, a man who's a cosplay crusader, who's leading some type of crusade, probably you put him on, as a Secretary of Defense, getting Americans and innocent civilians.
Oh, that's right. He's Hegseth's pastor. Christ Crusader Yeshua Hegseth.
Killed. I wish you would be a better Christian. I wish you would open up the Bible. I wish you would meet the Jesus that I met when I went to an all-boys Jesuit Catholic high school. The Jesus that took care of the sick, that took care of the poor, that welcomed the immigrant, that welcomed the marginalized, that helped them. But instead, you use Jesus as a mascot for, I don't know, your white Christian supremacy, your cruelty, your misogyny. And I'm so glad that people are finally waking up.
Dude, this is who the Christians are seething about as a white supremacist, anti-Semitic, misogynistic, blah, blah, blah. Dude. Cool Millennium Falcon, bro. It's like the one in my Star Wars video I made yesterday.
Your cruelty and to the idiocy of your star disciple.
Bruh's got a Quran and the Millennium Falcon.
Who keeps messing up and literally does not read the Bible and quotes Pulp Fiction. Just sit with them. Maybe both of you could read the Constitution, read the Bible, and just take a break, Pastor. Just take a break.
Yeah.
Stop being so racist.
Your response.
Jesus doesn't like how racist you are.
We know that Jesus was not a socialist because he could actually feed people.
Wonderful.
Whoa.
That's what you got. Man, Doug.
Yeah, dude. He's lower cortisol. He's cortisol mogging both these dudes right now. He won. He just won. You guys look like little kvetching bitches, and he just totally Jesus mogged both of you. Sad to see. Right Wing Watch just clipped up Spencer on with Dave Riley yesterday. Let's see.
Conservatives are dumb. And they come to the wrong conclusion, and they come to a very self-serving conclusion, which is that anyone who isn't, Daily Wire or Matt Walsh or what have you, anyone who isn't
Rasta, no more news,
etc., and it's all fake and a sham. The fact is, this indictment does not even suggest that. And it's just a very self-serving thing for conservatives to now say, oh, I knew it was a hoax or something. Charlottesville, again, it's a complicated matter. Charlottesville was not a hoax.
Oh, that's why Right Wing Watch shared it. Okay, what is this? Somebody sent this in. I don't know what it is. Let's see.
I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses,
get the water, nigga! It's going down! Ah, the motherfucking...
Okay, that is not funny. That is stupid. That is stupid. Okay, let's see. I think we're going to wrap it. I don't have anything else right now. I don't want to start a new segment. Gonna go get something to eat and go to the gym like all you should. Thanks everybody for watching and supporting. Really sad, did not make the goal tonight. No goal. So we're gonna have to go out to Jesus. Jesus is white from Big Tech. All right, sign up. You guys know what to do. Sign up for the Substack. Subscribe star down below. Make it Substack if you want to support the channel monthly, so I can keep doing the streams every day. I will be back tomorrow. Wait, maybe not actually. That's going to have to be TBD, to be determined. But anyway, I will see you guys soon. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. I like reading your comments. Get on over to Substack as well.
Right. I wake in the morning and I'm feeling fine, but then my day gets fucked up. White. Jesus is white.